I'm Angela, and today I'm taking you guys to Joann's with me. If that sounds interesting, stay tuned. Today I'm looking for fabric for my perfect cargo pants, and if you guys have missed the first several parts of this series, I'm going to put a link to that playlist in the description below so you can get caught up. But it's time now that I am looking for good fabric for these pants. So the plan is to head inside and take a look at some of the fabrics that I think would be perfect matches for the cargo pants. And because I'm still a little bit awkward or uncomfortable recording inside of a store, I'm going to just film it or video record it, and probably I'll do a talk over that I'll edit later, so I'm not actively talking inside the store. So if you're ready, let's go. So I just got in the store and I was heading over to the denims and twills, the bottom weights fabrics, and I haven't even made it there when something's already caught my eye. Look at this gorgeous sweater knit. This is so beautiful. I don't know if I'll be able to turn this down. So I'm going to stick it in my cart for now and think it over. So I found the denim section, and they do have a good selection of denim, but it's all so heavy, and I'm definitely not interested in a camouflage pattern for these pants. But to give you an idea of the denim selection here, I'm kind of panning the camera around so you can see. I made my way over to the next aisle, which also has some bottom weight fabrics. Mostly I found linens and linen blends, but I did find kind of a hodgepodge right here. And one of these in particular caught my eye. It's that green one that we're focusing in on right there. Let's take a look at it. I love the color of this, so that's one plus. And it actually feels pretty good. It feels about the right weight that I'm looking for these cargo pants. And I'm kind of like scrunching it up just to check out the hand and how it moves and everything like that. But I'm thinking that this could be a really good candidate for these pants. I'm going to go ahead and stick this one in the basket. So I found what I think might be the perfect fabric for the cargo pants, but this is the smaller of the two Joann's that are fairly close to me. And since they are having such a good pattern sale right now and they didn't have all the Vogue patterns that I wanted, I'm gonna head to the other Joann's, which is kind of same distance from my house but on the other side, so I got a little bit of driving to do, and I'm going to get the patterns there. I'm pretty sure that they will have the patterns that I missed out on at this Joann's. In fact, the clerk at this Joann's told me that they don't really carry very many Vogue patterns, so I'm pretty confident that the other Joann's, which is bigger, newer, kind of in a little bit more affluent part of town, they'll probably have the ones I couldn't find here. And while I'm there, since I have to go there, I am going to go ahead and check out their twill fabrics too and see what they might have there. So I will meet you there. I've made it to the second Joann's. We're going to head inside. I'm going to pick up the patterns that I want, and check out their twill fabrics. Let's do it. Before I take a look at the patterns, I wanted to kind of give you guys a little overview of the fabric section in this Joann's. It's really large. It's really something to see. And this is not even all of it. I'm kind of focusing in on the garment fabrics, but there's a huge home decorating section. The quilting section is really large too. But for now, I thought I would just kind of poke around and show you guys just a little peek at some of the fabrics. Checking out some of their bottom weights, and they do have a bigger selection than the first Joann's had. And I'm really kind of looking at some of the blue fabrics because they have such a nice selection. This is a pretty decent one. It's 98% cotton and 2% spandex. The color's pretty good. The feel is really good, and I like that it has that little bit of stretch. So this could be one for sure. The second one is the only other one that I thought had the right weight and feel for cargo pants. So I picked it off the shelf and kind of looking at it. It's a poly rayon spandex blend, which seems a little bit unusual, especially to use as a pair of cargo pants, but the feel is kind of just right. It's a little bit duller of a blue than that first bolt of blue, but I think that the colors are brighter in person than they are on the video here. So these are the two contenders from the blue category. category. I'm going to think on it and I will let you know. While I'm kind of mulling over which blue is the best one, I'm going to poke around a little bit because I don't come to Joann's very frequently, and especially not this Joann's. And I love looking at all the fabrics. I thought this would be a great chance to share this with you guys so you can appreciate them with me. Look at this purple velvet. I think this was velvet. Gorgeous. I had to really restrain myself from plopping that right into the basket. So pretty. And one of the very best things about this Joann's is their selection of special event fabric like bridal, prom, and so forth. And this one I've kind of eyeballed the last couple of times I've been in here. And if I had any occasion to wear this fabric and thought it would look good on me, I would get it. I love this sequin fabric. So I had to stop by and say hello to that. But look at this, you guys. Oh, it's just such a feast for the eyeballs. It's so beautiful. And here are more special occasion fabrics. I just can't get over the variety that there are. At one time in my life, I thought it might be fun to someone who sews bridal gowns for a living. And then I thought better of that and glad I didn't go down that path. I would have needed a lot more experience than I had, a lot more skills than I had at that point, too, anyway. But be it as it may, I think it all worked out for the best. Here's some, looks like some Halloween type fabrics. They've got like everything here. Check out this lace with skulls on it. How cool is that? I did end up getting one of those two pieces for the cargo pants, and I'll show you that when I get home, along with what I got at the first Joann's. And I found my patterns here too, so I probably will hold off and do like a big pattern haul later on in the week. But for now, I am headed home and I will meet you there. So I made it home from Joann's, both of them. And I have to say how much fun it was to go to two different Joann's in one day. It seems like these days, because I'm trying not to buy fabric, I don't really go there often at all unless I happen to know that they're having a really good pattern sale or there's something very specific I need, like interfacing or thread. But in order to keep myself accountable, when I do have to go there for those things, I usually go right in to the place that I need, like the thread aisle or whatever, get it and go. So it was so much fun to browse around. And there were a few pieces of fabric that I almost, they actually had made it into the cart and I almost got cuts of. But I was good and I stuck with just the fabric that I need for my cargo pants and some patterns, and the patterns were on my list to get. Anytime I go into Joann's, I check the pattern cabinets if they're having a sale, and if there's patterns on my wish list from those makers brands, I'll go ahead and pick them up, or at least a couple of them. So the patterns I gave myself a pass to get because it seems pretty rare that Vogue patterns go on sale or that I happen to be in Joann's when they're having a pattern sale. So I did let myself get the patterns. I am going to save these for a separate video. So I got one Butterick, two Simplicities, and three Vogues. And I'll probably do a separate video on these to come out this coming weekend. So look for that to come. But what I do want to share with you guys now are the two fabrics that I ended up going with for the cargo pants. So the first one is, it's a color olive, and it was 97% cotton, 3% spandex, I believe. But it's got a good weight, a little bit of stretch because of the spandex, and I was specifically looking for and hoping to find a blend that had just a little bit of spandex for that little bit of give. Since they're cargo pants and I might be hiking in them or gardening or doing whatever, I like for the fabric to have just a little bit of a stretch. I really like this color. Green is probably my favorite color if I had to pick one. And this is, it's kind of almost a grayed down green, which is nice for pants. I don't want them to be like too much of a bright green or like too warm and olivey. this is probably the perfect green for some cargo pants. I couldn't believe I found it. And when I took the bolt up to the cutting table, I had the woman measure it out for me, but I figured I probably would end up getting everything that was on the bolt. And it ended up being 3¼ yards. So my goal, what I was shooting for as far as quantity of fabric, was 3 yards. I figure that's enough. That's plenty enough to make a pair of cargo pants, especially if they're going to be more of a cropped length, and a little bit extra for mistakes or adding pockets or what have you. So I did get the 3¼ yard of that. So when I got to the second Joann's, I looked, as you guys saw, and I did end up going with this navy. It's called a navy suiting material, and it was polyester rayon spandex blend. I can't remember the ratios, but I'll put it up here on the screen. And I had a little bit of reservation about using a poly rayon blend. It seems kind of an unusual combination to choose for cargo pants, but after, kind of feeling it in the hand that it has, it's really similar in feel to my favorite cargo pants, the ones that I cut up to use as the pattern. Like, the fabric feels so close to that, even though that one's a cotton spandex blend. So the blue, it's a navy, and the color's just right too. Once again, it's more of like a darker, subdued kind of navy rather than a bright navy, if you will. And so the blue is a little bit lighter weight than the green, which is great because that'll give me experience making these with two different weights of fabric. And I am excited to get started on making the muslin of these pants, and that'll be next week's cargo pants segment. I'm so glad that you guys came along with me for the ride, and I hope that you enjoyed the trip to Joann's. I thought it was a lot of fun, and look for the pattern haul to come this weekend. And until then, bye.